Oh, so you thought I was only going to play football games on this channel, huh? Or maybe because MLB The Show 21's coming up very soon, you thought I wasn't going to touch Super Mega Baseball 3. Well, you're wrong. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Crayniaqs franchise here on Super Mega Baseball 3. I was thinking about doing this franchise at some point last year, but I never really got around to it because I wanted to focus on Madden and NCAA. But better late than never. And just like the Chargers franchise, if you want this series to stick around, make sure you guys slap that like button. And let me show you the team and introduce you to the players on the team. First and foremost, take a look at the logo. We got a blue skull. It's a two-tone blue scheme, similar to what the Titans have. As you guys know, I'm a huge Tennessee Titans fan. So let's take a look at this roster. Most of these players are created by people who are in my Discord server. If you want to join the Discord server, the link's going to be in the description below. And you can even get a player. I mean, there aren't a whole lot of spots left, but you can definitely create a player if you haven't already. But there's the team photo, and that is quite the motley crew that we have. We'll have to see if we can get them to be a championship caliber team. But let's take a gander at the roster that we have so far. First, we got Baron Chug Soda. He's our first baseman. Created by Dual Prod, aka Havoc Duel. He could also play center field as well. And he throws right, but he bats left, so kind of a weird combination there. But he's a pretty good contact and power hitter. He just kind of struggles with throwing, so staying at first base might be ideal for him. Next up, we got Pistol Pete, who was created by one of my channel members, actually, Raider Bear Chronicles. He's mainly the catcher, but he can play third base as well. He's a switch hitter, and he throws left. And he's another guy who is a pretty good batter overall. He just doesn't have a lot of speed, so don't expect him to steal very often. Next up, we got our starting right fielder, Saint Breezes, created by my boy Breezes, of course. And he can play anywhere in the outfield, and he bats and throws left. So maybe having him at right field is a little weird, I don't know, but he's another guy who doesn't have a lot of speed, but he's mainly a power hitter, and he's pretty damn good at fielding. So next up, we got Pistol Grip Chin, created by my boy Walty. That's going to be the center fielder. If you want the story behind that name, I'll actually post the video in the comments section, but he is a power hitter, just kind of struggles with contact a little bit, but he can get some steals here and there, so look out for that. Next up, we got Wesley Garber, created by WesDog, who's another member of my community, and he is a first baseman as well. Currently, I believe he's our DH. He's overall a power hitter, and he just kind of struggles with fielding, so we have him playing the infield for the most part, mainly first base and catcher. But Wesley Garber, another power hitter on this team, and he hits right and throws right. So next up, we got Az Strum, created by Fraser, aka Low Effort Streams on Twitch. He's going to be our shortstop, and he also can play some catcher as well. And his strengths are fielding and throwing as well, as his arm is pretty strong. Decent contact hitter, decent speed. He's just not very good at power hitting, so don't expect him to hit a lot of home runs unless he gets really lucky. But I do expect him to be a pretty key part of this Crayniaqs team. Next up, we got John Mayfield, our starting second baseman, created by my boy Beast, who I've known for a very long time, and is one of my patrons. Now, he's got pretty good speed, and he's pretty good at fielding as well. It's just he's not a great contact hitter. He has decent enough power, and he has a good enough arm to do most things, but contact isn't really one of his strengths, however. And next up, we got Carson Torver, created by the Reyes Chronicles, who's another member of my community as well as the FG fam. And he's got pretty good fielding, and his power is one of his strong points. But again, similar to John Mayfield, just not a great contact hitter. And his speed and arm is pretty decent as well. So now we go to Jameson Dingers, created by Procrastinator. He can play third base and outfield, and he can play catcher as well. He can play pretty much any position on the field that we need him to. He's more of a utility guy. Pretty good power hitter, and his fielding is pretty good as well. Not too bad with contact or throwing, but his speed you're not going to see him stealing too much. Very similar to Pistol Pete in that regard. Now we go to our pitching rotation, and the first guy we're going to talk about is Quickie Mart. Created by my boy Quickie Mart. He's a southpaw pitcher. He bats left and he throws left. And he's just not a great batter, which is okay because we're in a DH league and velocity is his main weakness. His junk and accuracy is pretty good. So now we go to my created character, Zack York. Put those backwards and that's Kaz Cray. But anyways, junk isn't very good, but velocity and accuracy is pretty damn good. And again, he's not a very good batter, so you're not going to see any of these pitchers batting very often. And next up, we got Follett Jr., created by Parker, the Hurricane Thomas. He's a right-handed pitcher. And similar to Zack York, he's just not a very good off-speed pitcher. You're going to see a lot of fastballs, and not too many curves or changeups or anything like that. So now we go to Ankle Reaper, who is another guy on this team who will probably be on the bench to start off. Pretty good power hitter, and he has pretty nice speed as well. And we can definitely use him in a pinch at shortstop or in the outfield, but contact hitting isn't great. Now we got Maxwell, created by Nice Gary. He's another guy who will be on the bench to start off with, but he's a pretty good batter, just not great at throwing the ball or anything like that. His speed and fielding is pretty decent though, but just not good enough to really get a starting job. But maybe down the road he might end up being a starter somewhere. So I do have one more pitcher to talk about, and that is Marcus Miller. He's going to be a relief pitcher to start off with. He has pretty good speed and velocity on his pitches, and just isn't a very good batter for the most part. But he'll be one of our relief pitchers in this series. So now we're going to go to this custom franchise setup, and we're going to play 40 games per season. I don't anticipate playing all 40, but I'd say we'll play over 25% of the games, maybe closer to like 33%. We'll have to see. But innings are going to be 9 innings, just like in the MLB and like other baseball leagues as well. Playoff games per series is going to be best of 5 instead of best of 7. And then there will be 8 playoff teams, just like in the MLB. I'm excited to get started with this series now. I'll address MLB The Show 21. I do anticipate doing a series in that game. I know I've teased it a little bit, but I do believe that I'm going to be doing a series for that game. So this series, unless you guys just like kind of blow me away with the likes and the views and whatnot, will probably go on the back burner as soon as MLB The Show comes out, which will be next week, as a matter of fact. Exactly next week, next Tuesday. So I'm thinking I'll probably do episodes where I do multiple games in one episode and probably just do the series once a week, I'm thinking. And then just focus on the Chargers series and focus on the MLB The Show series. But with that being said, if you guys are hype about this series, make sure you guys hit that like button. And if you just so happen to be new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button as well. And turn your notifications on to join the notification gang. That way, every time a new video is uploaded, you guys will be notified, and we gonna keep this mofo rolling here on Kaz Cray Gaming. And if you want to see more from the channel, make sure you check out the playlists and the video in front of you.